Well, it's May 31st, 2021 here at Aloha Food Forest. And this is Tutu. I'm filming how it looks this evening. Here's our kitchen garden, which is fun. It's coming along. We have some cantaloupes there starting, and there's oregano, carrots, asparagus, parsley, leeks, all kinds of fun things. Oh, and the most fun of all, peanuts. I have been so happily trying to plant peanuts. And every year I think they get a little bit more comfortable being here. So these are the pineapple tomatillos, and we have a couple of those. So it's a fun garden. I did used to have a lot of, I added basil. I bought this basil. Grateful for that. We have the parsley going to seed. And yeah, so it's fun. We have onions, red onions, starting this year. Like bulb onions. So that's fun. So that's the little kitchen garden. It's nice. It's nice. It's fun. We used to put a table out here, so it was sort of a pathway and sort of like a part of the yard that we would walk all over, and now it has some cute little kitchen garden plants. So, and there's the beautiful oak tree, the power of the great oak. So amazing. So the oak really dominates the whole place, and we're so grateful. Birdies can go up in there. I know not everyone can have an old oak tree, but you can plant a tree that will become somebody else's old oak tree. You really can. If you would like to plant a tree, it can become somebody else's beautiful tree. Somebody else will be so grateful for the tree you planted. There's a bit of sugar cane, some of our fennel. This grows by seed. And here's a little area where I've been planting, starting some, transformation. Really, this is a very tough clay soil here. Very tough indeed, because it has a lot of these big tree roots in it. And it's a lot of clay. But over time, we're starting to make headway. We're planting more things in here. There's a little potato. These are red onions, bulb onions. Okay, some sugar cane. You can see the nasturtiums. They love it. Yes. So we're breaking new ground, sort of, here. We have been planting, making our little holes. Okay, here is one of the compost holes that is now finished. Oh, look. This is the funny thing about onions. There's a little onion growing up. It landed in the compost hole, and it decided to keep growing. So many of the things here are volunteers. Even this beautiful dichondra grass. It's very cute. Volunteered. It's very nice. I really like it. Under the oak tree. Then we have this volunteer prickly sort of, it's in the same family with sow thistles and other prickly kind of lettuces. So this is one I usually do not allow it to reseed. I'll usually chop and drop. And here's another member of the family. Yes. So there are lots of volunteers. Let me show you some other volunteers. These are Feverfew. Yeah, Feverfew flowers. And oh, if you smell the fragrance of the leaves, they smell just like cologne. And they showed up here. And how did I know what they were? I identified them. I took the time to identify them. That's an important thing for everybody to do. Okay, so there's wild lettuces over here. These are the pain-relieving analgesic wild lettuces. This one right here with no serration on his leaves, like these guys. These are all called Lactuca virosa. And then you have this pretty one here, which has these fun leaf shapes. And those are Lactuca seriola, S-E-R-R-I-O-L-A. Look at that, isn't that cute? So they're very similar. They're in the same family, and they both have a lovely sap, a white sap, that when you put it on the palm of your hand, it takes away pain. It's not tasty to eat, but I love growing it for the pain relieving qualities of it. It's so pretty. Collards, collard greens. These are so pretty. The yellow flowers are delicious, and the little seed pods are delicious. And of course the leaves are collards, collard greens. Those can be added to spaghetti sauces and stews. These grow here as volunteers. I did initially seed them here by throwing out some collard green seeds, and they have taken their spots around the garden. They really like it. Here's some more. There's some more wild lettuce. This is borage. My lovely friend gave me the seeds for this from her garden. There's another loquat tree. So we keep adding, and this garden I just cleared out. It was overgrown like a jungle. So now you can see the strawberries. So I really believe that all of us together are co-creating a beautiful new earth. Those of us who want to. And I really do believe that nature is at the heart of our new earth. That love of all nature. Love of plants and animals and fungi. Insects and spiders. All the beautiful things. Here I put a lot of seeds in this area. There's a cute little bean plant. I was surprised at how well this is doing. It's been growing green beans quite nicely. We let the mustard grow, the wild mustard. It's very nice to have on hand. And it actually benefits your citrus trees if you have mustard. So growing mustard when you have citrus, they're a good combination because the mustard hosts a certain predator of the Asian citrus psyllid. And an Asian citrus psyllid is something tiny that can destroy citrus plants, but mostly if they're unhealthy. What I've discovered about plants is if they're unhealthy in the first place, that's when they can be overtaken by pests. And I think it's quite the same with human beings. When our bodies are healthy, we can resist all kinds of things, colds and flus. Hops for the beer. Isn't that fun coming along there? Here are the bananas that we planted in our lowered garden bed, so they are a little bit deeper in the soil, and I think they are responding a little better than the other bananas behind them. Okay, these are wild radishes that need to be harvested. The seeds, it's all going to seed right now. So I need to harvest those. But that'll be fun. And then apricots. Look at that. Isn't that fun? Little apricots. And I just harvested a bunch of nectarines from this tree, which is one that we planted in 2012. And this was our biggest harvest ever. And for some reason, it's hard to say why, but the birds hardly bothered our nectarines this year. Like when they were young, I used to put netting around them to protect them from the birds. But maybe the birds have a lot of other things that they enjoy eating, so they don't have to just eat that. So we got plenty this year of our harvest, and I love feeding the wildlife. So I'll leave the rest for them. Yeah, so here we are in the food forest. It's kind of fun. What you're seeing here is Swiss chard greens. These are all going to seed. So look at that. Millions of seeds of chard. More bananas. Evening primrose. This particular tree has never fruited. It's quite old. I wonder if it ever will. We shall see. Okay. Listen to the birds. So this is what our version of food forest looks like. It has a lot of Swiss chard growing in place of what used to be a grass and like burr weeds and other things. So we've replaced quite a bit of it. So now instead there's edible greens. And there's the beautiful fig tree. This plant here is Coyote Bush or something. You can see this growing wild anywhere. It's a pioneer plant, which it comes along and grows when it needs we need help. So it makes a nice space in the garden when the garden is still so raw that it's hard to plant things in it. This one will grow. It's called a pioneer plant. There's lots of pioneer plants. I'll show you some other ones that are fun. These aloes. These are Aloe Arborescens. And some people have called them red hot poker flowers. They're in the aloe vera, not in the same family as aloe vera, which is aloe vera is Aloe Arborescens. So this particular aloe is a little bit flatter leafed, and as compared to the aloe barbadensis or aloe vera that you use normally or when you buy it in the store. And the other interesting thing about this one, it has a latex fluid that is orangish yellow, kind of like the color of the ends of those flowers. And that is a very staining fluid, so I use it. I've been using it for years, and I've taught a lot about this already, for staining gray hair. It stains gray hair so nicely. It can be more like a golden color hair, or also it can just help browner hair stay browner. So it's fun. Here's an old pomegranate tree that was cut way down, and it grew right back, thankfully. Yay, another old pomegranate tree. So yeah, this is a Swiss chard right here. Look at that. Woo! All those seeds. Look at this. Fennel for black fennel seeds, licorice seed, tasting seeds. I use these seeds really in the Italian sausage, but they're also really good for you. They say that these seeds themselves can give you an immunity boost. And I believe that the more kinds of different varieties of stuff you have, the better. And you don't have to eat only this stuff. But if you add this stuff to your cooking, add it to your snacking, to your salads. Look at this. This is delicious for salads. This is a very bland, light green chard. I like this one a lot. I use it as a substitute for celery in cooking. And also, the leaves are very mild, so it's quite nice for a salad or even just snacking on. And instead of the taste of celery, those stalks, they have a taste that's a bit salty and almost buttery. That's kind of fun. And look at all that. This was seeds generations ago. These are old plants now. They are the seeds of the seeds. These are the grandchildren, maybe even the great-grandchildren of the original seeds that were here. So that's fun. And this, I have to tell you, was planted from a piece of this plant that was broken off. And as I've shown you in other videos, every one of these little nodes right there where the leaves are growing out of the stems, you see that they have new little plants growing out of those joints. That is a highly powerful growth node. And if you were to take the leaves off of that and plant it underground, it would turn into roots. So that's how you can turn one of these type plants into a rooted plant. And many plants are just like that. This one we call Mexican sage. It's not a true sage like some of the others, but this one is really very lovely. It has the greatest fragrance, and I love how soft it is. You can bring it into the house and it makes a great fragrance. The leaves have a great fragrance. And also, if you dry it out, you can use it for smudging. It's really nice. It grows very easily here in Southern California. Very nice. Okay, so there are some of the wild radishes. Again, like I have to cut those back. They're ready for harvest. So that's a lot of wild radish seeds. What I love about the wild radish is the pretty flowers that they have. Let's see if we have any wild radish still about. I think I've shown them on other videos, but look, there's some strawberries planted under a tree. Look at that. They can grow in shade just fine. There's green onions growing right there. Apricots. I thought I saw some wild radish around here. I probably need shade to survive right now. There's the grape that grew itself. Isn't that beautiful? That was a volunteer. Yes. Where did I see that wild radish? I think it was around here. I know where it was. Here's some more collards. You see how they are now volunteers. I don't go around planting them. They just plant themselves. Okay, you can see that snail on there? He's telling me that these are probably really dry. But we have like nice predators, snail predators. Okay, here's the wild radish. Very pretty, very pretty. Now, this is the end of the season. If you look at some of the videos from earlier in the spring, you'll see that we had fields of these beautiful purple flowers. And what's fun about them is they all taste just like radishes. They really do. If you eat one, has a beautiful fragrance and a beautiful flavor. There's the pecan tree. Pecans. So this old tree has been making pecans for a very long time. We're so very, very grateful that it's here. Generations and generations. Green onions, calendula, rosemary, another macadamia, peach. There's some comfrey. Yay. This plant. Lemongrass. Another peach. How's this one doing? I think I need to water these people. Citrus Royale. This is just a combination of plants that were here and some that we added. And it's just a lot of fun. So I never knew about a food forest until I came to this place. This one is very pokey agave. And this one is the Opuntia cactus. Nopales in Spanish. Nopales. So there's so much bounty here. It's amazing. Olives. Look, the nasturtiums like the shade. The old lemon tree. This lemon tree is quite old. And still producing. And still creating possibilities. From her seeds and her stems. So we're wrapping up the tour of the garden. There's the rosemary. It got really dry. I've been doing a lot of deep watering. This is where we soak with the hose. We use our watering pipes. We get very dry. Let's see if you can see this watering pipe here. So this is just an ABS pipe. It's the kind plumbers use for all kinds of, like, I think it's mostly for waste, but you can find it at Home Depot, or you could use any pipe that you have. And you just put a couple feet piece of pipe, like less than a meter, maybe a couple feet or half a meter deep. And then when you water with the hose, the water goes deep down into the roots. It's very important because it's sometimes in dry climates like this, it can be hard to get the water deep down into the roots. Here's another wild radish. See all those seeds? It's growing here underneath, in the shade, underneath the lemon tree. Well, that's funny. I keep an eye on these kind of things though, because sometimes they need to be trimmed back so they have space away from each other. Yeah, so It's really fun here. Here's some more of the volunteers' Feverfew. We do have a lot of repeat things. But here's lavender, here's mint, rosemary. Do you want to see the fishies? Hello, fishies. Hello. Hello. They're so pretty. They're so pretty. They're all like, why is she doing that? Just wanted to say hello. You're so pretty. And here's the little grow bed, an old bathtub. It's fun. So, coffee tree, sugar cane. So I think that's about the end of the tour. Here's the view from the book. Okay, here's how it looks today, the front cover of the book. Let's see. Yes.